Now, hands up. Yes, hands up. Who, who remembers that wonderful, brilliant TV series, Mr. Selfridge, starring that great actor, Jeremy Piven? Remember that? Wasn't it wonderful? Have you seen it? Let me know. Nod. Yes, you have. Yeah, well, it's wonderful. It's all about, of course, the story of a real showman that was Mr. Selfridge. It's such a sad story, in fact, when you read it. If you haven't read it, I won't spoil it or anything like that. But it is. And when I go past that wonderful Selfridge store, as I often do, on the bus and things, I look up and think, what an empire that man built. Of course, if you know the story, equally the infamous Dolly sisters, some might suggest, had a part in his downfall. I'll just leave that there, right? But it was fascinating. But that, of course, is, drama, not reality. And reality is, of course, all of these years on, Oxford Street certainly isn't what it was. When you look at Oxford Street today, you kind of think, well, what is there here? It's supposed to be the most glamorous street, literally, in the United Kingdom for shopping. And when I first came to London, there were stores here that you never saw anywhere else, and for the rich and famous. And you think, wow, who goes in there? Then you see people and think, very nice. Now, of course, under the, shall we say, leadership of the current Mayor of London, well, Oxford Street is like nothing else you've seen before. Vaping shops, run-down sweet shops, fake shops that have got, of course, British goods sold in the front window. But according to Sadiq Khan, it's still a place that you really want to go. So much so that, get this, he recently was invited, could they not find anybody else, to open one of the biggest stores now back on Oxford Street, that is IKEA, at the corner of Oxford Circus. Now, this store was really famous for being Topshop. And if you were a young teenager in the 80s, you would have gone there, and they even had discos, if you remember, on a Saturday morning to make sure the beat made you buy. Remember that? A lot of pop acts I took down there. The likes, of course, that were big in the charts will make personal appearances, and, well, it made you spend more. But according to Sadiq Khan and also IKEA, well, the idea to turn this 4-mile stretch of London exclusivity into a pedestrian walk, well, they both love it. The thing is, what's the true story behind it? Let me explain. Lovely to see you, chums. Thank you for your time today. Yes, as you can see, the ever shy retiring Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, was apparently the guest of honour to open this big store. And it comes as no surprise to learn and see in print that IKEA have decided that they too think that this will be a good idea to make sure there's no traffic in their new plans of, well, making it totally pedestrianised. Now, I don't know about you, but 4 miles is a long stretch, right? So if you're at the bottom end, say where Markets and Spencer's is, what, you're going to lug all the bags all the way up to Oxford Circus, and then there's no buses going to be allowed, but there may be a tram service or in fact a reintroduction of trolley buses. So a lot of wasted money when you think. But the bigger reason, of course, is that Sadiq, very keen to make sure that you're kept in your box and only shop in that particular area, allegedly, well, this would take away a lot of the footfall, as you say, and then you could turn lots of Oxford Street into very lucrative and expensive flats. You get the picture. But moving forward, as I say, IKEA have decided that they back it too. And when you think about it from that perspective, of course they do. They've invested heavily and no doubt received some, as ever, allegedly, special treats in order to make sure that they come back onto what was London's most busiest and luxurious shopping street. Now, the point, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you go to IKEA and you buy that flat pack furniture, who on earth's going to give you a handout all the way down 3.5 miles one end, either way, to make sure that you can get it to the car or indeed the tube? Nobody's truly thought this through. But then again, that you could say that about everything that is under the leadership of the current Mayor of London. Anybody else agree? Neil Sean in Kensington, London.